Greetings. This is the Get To Free Press, and we report what others ignore. This is your First Amendment right to know without whiteouts from a controlled news media whiteout network. And we are located in Valdosta, Georgia, and we are here to inform, educate, and persuade if necessary. Always keep that in mind. Moreover, I want to say to you that as a community, state, nation, and world, we are not who we claim to be, but who we prove ourselves to be over a given period of time. And if we are a liar, time will tell. And if we are a racist or a hater, time will tell. And our righteous and holy God already know. So you are only fooling yourselves. Again, the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Foster Rhines.
Greetings. I'm George Foster Rhines with the Get To Free Press here in Valdosta, Georgia. Last week I was in Waycross, Georgia, in a court case with the Judge William Ash. During that court case concerning First Amendment rights, Judge Ash complimented the president of Justice League United for being the watchdog and overlooking, checking on local government operations. Yes, he commended him as a person that were concerned about how our government carry out their affairs. I just posted last night a video about the cameras here in this courtroom. That is the Southern Judicial Court jurisdiction here in Valdosta and Lowndes County. Many pastors that carries a Doctor of Divinity degree, many educators carry a Bachelor of Science, etc., a master's or a PhD degree. There are many elected officials in local governments, and there are high-level business people here in the city of Valdosta, Georgia, with children in the school system. Some are in the jail, some are in the prisons. But many of these people and titles that I just called will not stand up for what we should respect under our form of government. And so I'm going to be brief with this video today, I promise you. But I am here because during the KJ family attorney fees, wherein Judge Richard Porter found it necessary to charge the family with $300,000, and the original amount, well, I think it was $700,500, nearly $1 million. We who came to the courtroom, we noticed that there was no news media to cover the story for the most part. We noticed an operational court case that was unlike any that we had ever seen before. And so you can see that in the other video, but I'm not going to get into that. But it's been documented. And now we are trying to obtain or to find out who is responsible for the cameras on the outside of the courtroom, the cameras on the inside of the courtroom, who are responsible for them, etc., etc. Now, Mr. Worthy, who was over in Waycross last week, requested from the Lowndes County Board of Commissioners, who owns, operate, file away, or can provide copies of these videos if they are covered under the Georgia Privacy Act. K. Page Dukes, county clerk, states in his letter that he does not have the records requested on or from these video cameras. A letter was forwarded to the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office, and one attorney by the name of James L. Elliott responded in this request, which was, now first of all, the other request was dated August 25th, 2016, and an answer was provided August 30, 2016. This request to the Sheriff Attorney Elliott was sent October the 4th, and they responded October the 7th. Attorney Elliott said, the records you have requested are not the subject to the direction and control of the Superior Court of Lowndes County. Let me repeat. The records you have requested are subject to the direction and control of the Superior Court of Lowndes County, which is part of the official, or rather judicial, branch of government, and that it is not subject to the Open Records Act. So I assume that that means the general public does not have access to those recordings here in the public courtroom in Valdosta and Lowndes County, Georgia, by law, I guess. A request to the Honorable Judge Richard Porter III was sent to him on October the 31st, 2016, and he received a reply back. He, being Bobby Worthy of Justice League United, received a reply back on November 3rd, 2016. The Honorable Judge wrote, I do not have any video recordings or any of the letters items you requested. But he too stated the same as Attorney Elliott, that the judicial branch are not subject to the Open Records Act. And he said if you need further information or better understanding, to contact Tim Hendrick, the circuit court administrator, concerning these videotapes, etc., etc. Again, it seemed as if though, and he too said that the judicial branch are not subject to the Open Records Act of Georgia. Another request was sent to Attorney Elliott on October 4th, and they provided a response back on November the 3rd. And it pretty near says the same thing as all others, that they do not have the records, and that the records that he requested is under the direction of the Superior Court of Lowndes County, which is part of the judicial branch of the government, and that they are not subject to the Open Records Act. So this means that the citizens in Valdosta and Lowndes County will never be informed of who controls these cameras. He said the courts, but when you look for the courts to say, I have the responsibility, and that they are not open for the public, then the question will remain for any citizens of average intelligence. What are they used for? What are these videotapes used for? In conclusion, I sent another request last week, and I want to see what they say. But here's my major concern, and I believe that the people that were in that court case, or those court cases, they want to know, since the Valdosta Daily Times, CBS, ABC, NBC, WSB out of Atlanta, and others did not report that any of us have seen in a publication that Judge Richard Porter III allowed the attorneys to talk to C.B. King in ways that many of us had never, ever seen before, number one. Number two, when Shaveen King had an ailment and wanted to go to a doctor's appointment, and the way the judge responded to Attorney King, in my opinion, needs to be seen by members of the general public. Number three, the attorneys seemed as if though they were friends of the judge, and believe it or not, it showed in their mannerism. It showed in the way they talked and their language directed toward Shaveen King. And I don't stand here to defend anybody, but the truth must be told. And if they had allowed the press in the courtroom, all of my words here would not even be necessary. All one had to do was to mash a button and show the video, or open up the free press if they would report what actually happens in the courtroom. Then you would know for yourself. But if we are operating here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, in the state of Georgia, under a closed type of government, that means that you will not know any of this information that I have presented to you, because I care about those young men beyond words, and those women beyond words, now stationed at Moody Air Force Base, Fort Benning, Camp Lejeune, Orford Air Force Base, Nebraska, and all other military installations around the United States and in foreign nations of the world. And if we are not concerned about those men and women that are in uniform, that are disabled, that are retired, such as myself, and those that lost their lives in combat, if we do not respect their service beyond words on Memorial Day, words on whatever day you set aside, then why should we send our sons and daughters to put their lives on the line for a nation that will not open up the secret vaults so the people will know that the founding fathers of this great republic laws are being carried out and publicized around the world, that we are a nation of, for, and by the people. Now, you know that here in Valdosta, Georgia, a little metro city, I stopped, or took a break, I never stopped, of reporting about the jail deaths here in Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail. My records reflect from 1994 to 2009, there had been 31 jail deaths, one that I couldn't account for, but 31 jail deaths. And do you not know that all of these religious leaders with doctorate of divinity degrees, people with master's degrees and PhDs and holding high offices and have children and grandchildren that go and frequent that jail out there at one time or another, and you know, very few citizens, if any, are even concerned about people in the jail and the conditions of that facility under our form of government, wherein you are innocent until proven guilty. But who will even ask, why are so many people dying in that jail compared to other jails? Now, I know that if a person go to jail housing as many inmates as out there, that you're going to have some deaths. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But you at least ought to open up your files in the sheriff department. I'm not just talking about Ashley Park. I'm including him. But I'm talking about Sheriff Prine and others if they served. What's wrong with open government? And if the sheriff department send people to the jail, to the hospital to die, or if they send them home to die, well, they was incarcerated in the jail, so why don't that information get published through the Valdosta Daily Times and our local news media networks? Now, you all know that when the Lake Park Post was here in this city, you got real news that you will find in Americus, in Macon, and some other Georgia towns. But you know now, you should know now, that we don't have a news media that will report the things that I'm talking about. Well, you can call me a lie. I'm asking you to Google with my last 30 video, and you will see a jail inmate, former jail inmate now. And I'll address this to city government and county governments, because when this black man came to me, he was under stress. He had been to Greenleaf. He was running for his life, according to him, because on April the 9th, 2010, he said that they killed an inmate out there in the jail. According to him, what he heard beneath the door, they shot him, I think, tased him. 3,500 folks, I think he said, I'm not sure, but it's on video so you can get his words. And he said he had to clear his conscience, and that's why he came to me. He said he had been to the clerk of the court. He said he had been to a judge by the name of Judge Turner. He said he had been to the Valdosta Daily Times and other news media networks trying to get them to report on that young man's death. In that video, he used the term murder. I said to him, and you can hear this on the video, I said, don't say murder. And so he stopped using the word murder. He said they killed him, but near the end he couldn't help it. He said they murdered him. Now, I don't know about that. But I will say this, that all I have is the documentation that I have, and I'm willing to share it. It's not top secret. If this individual came to me, and after he went to all these other people, and if they felt that the people at Moody Air Force Base, the squadron and base commander and wing commanders didn't have a right to know about what happened to an inmate in the jail, because after all, if a person get locked up from Moody Air Force Base, they're going to go straight to that jail. And so we have a responsibility, especially we who have served during the Vietnam War and made it out safely. We have a responsibility to care about our fellow human beings in the same manner that when they called us to go wherever they wanted us to go, we didn't ask questions. we just went. We were willing to go. Well, some of them wasn't willing, but when they gave us, I did Moody, even Moody. When that alarm go off on a military base and they tell you to report, and you get on that ship, or you get on that plane, or you get in that vehicle, you don't even know where you're going sometimes. I had 3 assignments, and I was married with 3 children. And when I got my assignment, it scared the hell out of me the first time, because it said across my orders, Damask. Where in the hell is Damask at? I got another second orders on another occasion said, you to go to Damask. That means asterisk, 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 asterisk. And when my country called me to go wherever they wanted me to go, without exception, I never refused an assignment in my 21 years in the armed forces. And so now that I'm back home, and because I love the people at Moody Air Force Base and all these other active duty people that are being misled in some cases, because we believe in everybody being treated equal, even by the police department, and the record, the historic record, is tilting to the left now and showing us that some citizens have rights and others do not. In closing, how could it be, my fellow Americans and other human beings around the world, how could it be, for the most part, that black police officers, let me say it again, black police officers, let me say it again, black police officers in uniform, how could it be that they are not shooting down white folk like white folks are shooting down black folks? How could it be that black officers and black chief of police can tell a difference between a cell phone and a 9mm? How could it be that black police officers are not seen on camera with their knee down on a white woman's neck, beating her up like they in combat in Vietnam? How could that be? Are only the black police officers trained? How could it be that on YouTube and Facebook we watch this day in and day out, and too many whites, not all of them, and I do assure you not all of them, because a lot of them are my friends, and they express to me, thank you, Brother Ryan, for what you are doing, because if you don't do what you are doing, I'm sorely afraid that this republic will fall as ancient Rome. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, because I don't have to. If white people didn't tell me that, I damn sure wouldn't say that. I would not say it. And so I'm saying to you the same thing I said to you in 1975 when Trooper Duncan pulled me over and lied on me, State Patrol, coming from Quitman to Valdosta. I was stationed in Moody Air Force. He lied on me. Of course, I took him to court. I don't like liars, because you don't have to lie. I don't like liars. My grandmother, I won't get into that. Y'all have a nice day. May God bless you. I'm out here for one purpose. I love these members of various churches whose pastors come to Reverend Rose. They are not members of Reverend Rose Church. I don't have a church. Back in the day when I was a traditional minister of Jesus Christ, they say, I was offered churches in Myrtle Beach and several other locations. I chose to move up to another level. You see, somewhere I read that many are called, but few are chosen. But if you properly understand 2 Timothy, y'all have a nice day. May God bless you, and may heaven smile upon you. This is the Get To Free Press, and we report what others ignore. And believe me, y'all, I don't get no pay for this. For the most part, I don't even get a thank you. No, I don't get a thank you. But it don't matter to me. You see, a lot of you all are doing good, and you're doing good deeds for people because you want to go to heaven. Yeah, I know. You're worried about the hereafter. I'm not working to go to heaven. In fact, I don't know of anything that I do to go to heaven. But what I do is because I want to. I do what I do because I love God's children. I do what I do because I love my own children, grandchildren, and coming generations of children. And so because I love them, I do what I do. So if there is no heaven, or if there is no hell, for the most part, it really does not matter to me. And you already know that I've studied about heaven and hell, and I know where hell is by the real scriptures, not by what the Catholic Church have told me and indoctrinated me to believe. And so I'm at peace. I'm at peace. And you don't control me because I know why I'm here. And I know why you are here. And we have a job to do. The question is, will you do yours? That's your business if you don't want to. If God or the force or your conscience tell you not to prepare to make America a greater nation, if your conscience don't tell you to try to leave America in a better state and condition than you found it in, that's your call. That's not my call. If you just want to leave it the same way. My humanity to man dictates that I do what I can to build a better world. That means when I get up in the morning, I may not do nothing about it, but at least I acknowledge the chemtrails that they are spraying in the air, and the government won't even tell us what they're putting in the air, and most of us don't even care. We just waiting to die so we can go to heaven. Yeah. You know, I spoke at a local church yesterday. I said a few words, and before I could get out of the church, somebody had done criticized me for what I said because they couldn't understand outside the box of incarceration and indoctrination. And you know what I said to him when somebody brought it to me, what they said? I said, let us pray for him, because I used to be the same way. I can't dislike him or her. So you go ahead on and criticize, because some people in this world, God called them to criticize. He called people to hate other people. He called some people to do some things that we don't understand. This is why I believe King David said, God said, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. Because if we don't know who the prophets are, and if we don't know the mission for which God has called somebody, all we can do is sit back and let God do his thing so the God of creation can really, really be glorified. You don't see where I be on this channel just downing President Trump, because I know that God one day allowed Moses to be used by him to show the people just how great and loving he is. And if you remember, when God told Moses to do what he wanted done, God also told Moses, I, not Pharaoh. He said, but I am going to harden the heart of Pharaoh against the children of Israel and against you. So that would make Moses' job harder. But in the end, truth, right, and justice won. And so don't be all excited about President Trump, number 45. Don't fret yourself over him. He's just a flea in the bucket with a hole in it. God is in control of both the bucket, the hole, and the world. Come on, y'all, get serious. And so, Donald Trump is helping God for you to see even your neighbors down the street. You thought they was your friend. You thought that you could depend on them. But now God is drawing this line so straight. Like the book of Amos, chapter 7, 7th verse through 8 or 9. God is lining this thing up now so he can measure his people by the plumb line of justice. And so they all can walk off on the square. And the square is the Word of God, which is the Holy Bible, open if you properly understand. Y'all excuse me. I love y'all so much. I just don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Be gone.
There's no need of standing up for the right unless you're gonna stand up against the wrong. Tell me how you're gonna ever stop being weak unless you make your mind up to be strong. You've got to do right, walk in the light, it won't be long. There's no need of standing up for the right unless you're gonna stand up against the wrong. Tell me how you gonna ever stop being weak unless you make your mind up to be strong. You got to do right, walk in the light, it won't be long. Let me tell you now, it's easy to hate your enemy, and it's just as easy to love your friend. But if you're gonna love like the Bible tells you, you got to let the love of God come in. You got to do right, walk in the light, it won't be long. Oh, don't you wanna love him better? Oh, don't you wanna love him more? Oh, can't you hear the Savior knocking? He keeps knocking at your door. You better make a haste to seek your Maker before you have to meet with the Undertaker. He will save you right now if you are willing. Can't you see the Bible is fulfilling? You got to do right, walk in the light, it won't be long. Oh, don't you wanna love him better? Don't you wanna love him more? Can't you hear the Savior knocking? He keeps knocking at your door. You better make a haste to seek your Maker before you have to meet with the Undertaker. He will save you right now if you are willing. Can't you see the Bible is fulfilling? You got to do right, walk in the light, it won't be long. I said you got to do right, walk in the light, it won't be long.
Greetings. This is the Get to Free Press, and we report what others ignore. This is your First Amendment right to know without whiteouts from a controlled news media whiteout network. And we are located in Valdosta, Georgia, and we are here to inform, educate, and persuade if necessary. Always keep that in mind. Moreover, I want to say to you that as a community, state, nation, and world, we are not who we claim to be, but who we prove ourselves to be over a given period of time. And if we are a liar, time will tell. And if we are a racist or a hater, time will tell. And our righteous and holy God already know. So you are only fooling yourselves. Again, the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Foster Rice.